Today in Sacramento, a man was arrested after a chainsaw incident that sounds straight out of a horror movie. Plus, a campus tech outage, a mascot debate, school district layoffs, and a budget fight at the Capitol. Let's dive right in. I'm Garrett.
And I'm Leah. Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett from Sacramento, California.
First up, chainsaw-wielding suspect arrested for DUI in Northern California. Deputies in Amador County say an alleged assault happened at Gold Country Campground in Pine Grove, that small foothill town just southeast of us. The suspect was found later at a market in Pine Grove. Deputies reported clear signs of intoxication and a blood alcohol content of 0.20%. For context, blood alcohol content, or BAC, is the amount of alcohol in your bloodstream. California's legal driving limit is 0.08%. According to the sheriff's office, the man allegedly charged a campground resident with a running chainsaw. No way, right? He was also wanted on a felony warrant out of neighboring Calaveras County for a previous assault with a deadly weapon. He was arrested on suspicion of assault with a deadly weapon and DUI, which means driving under the influence. Assault with a deadly weapon means using or threatening with an object that can cause serious harm. Deputies say their fast response likely prevented further harm, and the takeaway is simple. Operating a car or even a tool like a chainsaw while impaired is incredibly dangerous. The risk spikes fast as BAC goes up, which is why the legal limit is set where it is.
That's so wild. I'm relieved nobody else got hurt, and hats off to Amador County deputies for moving quickly. Real talk, alcohol plus machinery is a no-go for me. It only takes seconds for something irreversible to happen. Okay, let's move on. Data breach disrupts Canvas access for CSU and UC systems nationwide. Canvas, the online learning system where students get assignments and grades, is made by a company called Instructure. The company says it's investigating a cyber attack claimed by a group called Shiny Hunters. That's a known hacking collective that posts stolen data to pressure companies. Thousands of students here in the Sacramento area and across the country had trouble logging in this week. Instructure says there's no evidence passwords or financial data were taken, which is a relief. But universities told students to hold off on logging in until they give the all clear. This is a classic data breach. Someone got unauthorized access to systems or information. It highlights how vulnerable school platforms can be. If you're a student, keep copies of assignments offline when you can and keep an eye on official campus emails for instructions.
Yeah, that checks out. One surprising detail. Reports say the attackers pushed for a negotiation to prevent a data release, basically ransom-style pressure, even if they don't call it ransom. It's another reminder that education platforms need strong defenses. Think simple steps like multi-factor authentication, the extra code you enter beyond your password, plus rapid incident response and regular backups so classes can keep moving if a system goes down. Let's keep it moving. Debate over Hiram Johnson High School's Native American imagery intensifies. Hiram Johnson is a Sacramento high school whose teams are the Warriors, with long-standing Native American-style imagery. The principal, Garrett Kirkland, says he views the imagery as a symbol of pride, not offense. But a student activist, Lozen Miranda Brightman from the Met High School here in town, is pushing to change it, saying it's harmful to indigenous communities. There's a key law here, the California Racial Mascots Act of 2024. It requires public schools to remove derogatory Native American mascots by July 1st unless a local federally recognized tribe gives consent. Federally recognized means the U.S. government officially acknowledges that tribe's sovereignty. The community conversation has real history behind it. The school opened in 1958, and by 1959, it had a character called Wampus Willie in bright feathers and buckskins. Today, more than 330 people have signed a petition to change the imagery.
Let's unpack this. Cultural sensitivity matters. I get that some alumni feel pride in old symbols, but if the people represented say it hurts, that's a signal to listen. The student-led petition with those 300-plus signatures shows momentum. Why does the law include that exception for tribal consent, though?
The idea is self-determination. If a local tribe chooses to partner and shape the imagery, they have that say. If not, schools are expected to move away from it. That keeps the decision with the community most affected.
That's a solid point. Keeping it real, dialogue with tribes feels like the right path if a school wants to honor and not stereotype. All right, on to the next. Sacramento City Unified faces massive layoffs amid financial crisis. The district says up to 600 employees could be laid off because of a severe budget deficit. Central office cuts of 136 full-time equivalent positions would save about $23.7 million, but it's still not enough to plug the hole. The deficit has been building for years, and watchdogs describe it as a 9-digit structural problem. Structural meaning it's baked into how money comes in and goes out, not a one-time blip. There's also talk of state receivership, which means the state takes over the district's finances and makes tough cuts to pay back any emergency loan with interest. FEMAT, the Fiscal Crisis and Management Assistance Team that audits district finances, is recommending borrowing state funds to prevent 5,000 staff from going unpaid, because unpaid staff would basically shut schools. Leaders are split on whether receivership is likely, but the fact they're discussing it says a lot.
Yeah, that hits different. Only about 10 California districts have ever gone into receivership. It's rare, and it means heavy, sometimes painful decisions come fast. The consolidation of roles and demotions we're seeing now point to deeper budgeting issues that have stacked up over years. It's a reminder that small gaps add up if they aren't fixed early. Next up, California Assembly draws line against cuts to safety net programs. Assembly leaders put out a budget framework that resists big cuts to Medi-Cal, which is California's low-income health coverage, public education, and in-home supportive services. That's the caregiver program that helps seniors and people with disabilities stay at home. The plan lines up with what the Senate floated earlier, and it sets values, but it doesn't lock in exact dollar amounts yet. There's also no firm promise to raise new revenue through higher corporate taxes. Lawmakers are eyeing higher than expected tax receipts tied to AI-driven stock gains. Quick explainer. AI-driven gains mean tech companies focused on artificial intelligence have pushed market values up, boosting state tax revenues. But analysts warn it could be a speculative bubble, basically prices getting ahead of real-world value. All this lands right before the governor's May revision, the annual mid-May budget update that resets the math.
I'm on board with protecting safety net programs. Those supports are lifelines. But I'm with the cautious folks on the stock surge. If it's a bubble, that money can vanish fast. Why not commit to new, steady revenue now?
Timing and uncertainty, I'd guess. They're probably waiting on the May revision numbers to see how durable those revenues are before picking a lane. Not gonna lie, that's one to watch closely.
So, there's your big picture for today.
That's all for today from Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett, here in Sacramento.
Have a great day, and we'll catch you again tomorrow for more updates.